statements.
Just through the preseason, you guys are right around the corner regular season. What have you liked from the guys so far? What do you still want to address?
I think preseason was as sloppy as I expected, and I think it'll continue to be sloppy as these guys grow, as we get in shape, as we continue to compete. There's a lot to clean up, but also a lot to be encouraged. You know, I like our pace. I think we got another notch to how fast we can play. I like that they're embracing some of that freedom, sometimes a little bit too much maybe, but it's by design. I want them to play free. I want them to shoot when they feel like they're open, but most importantly, I want them to share the ball offensively and create great shots every time down. And then defensively, I think we have a good level of tenacity and urgency to our defense, which I like. I want to speed up the offense. I want to disrupt, but you got to do that without fouling. And obviously, we played a big-time opponent in Alabama, and they shot 49 free throws. So, some room to grow there. Last game, our goal was to not let them get in the double bonus while still playing that style, and we did. And we turned them over 25 times. So somewhere in between is probably where we need to be in terms of the urgency we want to play with, without giving up open shots, without giving up uncontested threes, and without putting them on the foul line. So with all that being said, I think we're pretty close to where I expected us to be in terms of we still have so much room to grow, but some of our foundation in terms of the way we want to play is set, and now we got to continue to get in better shape and continue to push on those areas.
Is Robert McRae a guy who kind of brings it every day for you, sets the tone, does a good job of showing guys how it's done, especially being he's a veteran?
Yeah, Rob's done an incredible job. We got a group of 6 seniors. All of those guys have different experiences at different level. Rob being the one that a lot of guys look to, and he's not the most vocal guy, but he leads by example. He shows up every day and works his tail off. He's constantly in the gym, outside of practice, which I love. He wants to get better, and he wants to win this year. And so you need that out of your seniors, but especially your lead guard. And so far, Rob's done a really good job leading this team by example.
When things aren't going well on the court, is it Rob? What voices on the court are the leaders who are steadying and correcting?
Yeah, right now this is a new group. We got 11 new players, and I think they're all trying to figure that out. I think Martin, and I told this to the entire group in front of Martin, because I don't like to hide from things. Martin has not played well in either preseason game. One, because he had cramps against Alabama. I thought he had a really good rhythm, and then he went down with cramps. He's got to get in better shape. And then against FAMU, he picked up 3 terrible fouls, and his minutes were low. And Martin's been a consistent vocal leader through the preseason as a young guard. But all of these guys as seniors, Kobe McGee's done a great job, LeJay Jones has done a great job, Chauncey Wiggins has done a great job, Alex Steen has done a great job. All of the seniors are, kind of taking that leadership aspect on as a group, which I love. I don't think we have the quote unquote one, like, hey, this is our captain, everyone look to him. And that's kind of by design. I want this group to win together. I want, hopefully not too often, but them to lose together and learn together. But ultimately, every single day, every single practice, every single drill, and especially in the games, I want them to compete together.
You've talked a lot about can be in better shape and to run the offense and everything, how you want to run it. From your experience, obviously different in the NBA, is there ever a good enough shape, or is it where there's always another level that guys can get to?
Yeah, I'm asking a lot of these guys, because this is a pace and a style that most have never played in. But it's not just the offense; it's the defense too. Like, we're speeding teams up, we're constantly trapping, we're running and hitting. So your body is going to have to adjust. Or, like you saw in the preseason, we won't make shots we should be making, because I know these guys can shoot. They show it every day in practice. They show it in the drills. They've showed it at their previous teams. But part of that conditioning level is when you feel tired and your lungs are burning, to still step up and make open shots. I just told them in the huddle here a few minutes ago, I'll know they're in shape when they can work through fatigue and still execute on both sides of the ball. On the defensive side and on the offensive side, we create the great shots. You got to knock those down. You got to make your free throws when you're tired. So I think it's more of a feel thing than a measuring stick type of thing. But we also have our performance staff that's measuring a lot of those quantitative numbers, that areas where we know we can get in better shape. They track their heart rates, how quickly they adjust. Some of it I don't even understand. They break it down like I'm a little kid, but I do understand when they break it down of, hey, there's still a gap of room to where we can push these guys and get them to where we think they should be.
Anybody else say?
Thank you, guys.